Shoot! Hi, I'm Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. We're outside today, come out to the Moorlands again, to one of my most favourite parks. I feel a little bit self-conscious actually because there's quite a lot of people walking past, dog walking, and you know, people want to come and get autographs, that sort of thing, so it makes it difficult, but you know, I have my people shunning them away. But I'm going to get straight into this. Today we are here to look at the Rovyvon A8 UV. There's a lot to discuss. I mean, it's such a small flashlight, such a small package, but there are so many features crammed into this package, so there's a lot to talk about. So I'll turn the camera around, we'll have a look at the Rovyvon A8 UV. While I'm turning the camera around, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to hit that like button. It means a lot to me, it helps with my recommendations. If you're a returner, then please feel free to subscribe, hit that bell notification. But for now, let's turn the camera around. Okay, so you might know from previous videos that I am a massive fan of the Rovyvon A5. It was my first multifunctional flashlight, I guess you could call it. You know, these small keychain style flashlights that are super pocketable, but also rather than just a simple on, also have these extra features on here. And it was the A5 that really I fell in love with, and really admire Rovyvon for the products that they're making. I think Rovyvon at the moment are at the top of their game when it comes to these small multifunctional flashlights. So we'll go through some specifications about this, and then we'll have a look at how it works in the dark and also some of the features that are on there. So as far as construction is concerned, it's made from a polycarbonate body, and then there is a metal top here which helps to keep this nice and impact resistant. It is impact resistant. I had this noted down. I think it's from about 1 meter or 1.5 meters. Obviously we don't want to get these thrown around a lot, but specifically with these ones, because these are the type of light that you'd maybe attach to a keychain, having that extra durability on the end to protect the lens is actually quite important. It measures from the tip to the butt, it measures 54.8 millimeters, and the diameter on the head, it's very small, it's only 14.5 millimeters. As far as weight is concerned, because it's made from this polycarbonate body, it is ultra light. It only comes in at 11.7 grams, which is very light, and that's including the battery, so that's everything that's in here. The battery itself is all in, you can see it in there, it's in the back. It is quite a small battery as far as batteries are concerned. It's a 350 milliamp hour battery. Now, it's not a massive battery, especially when you think about mobile phones all having now around that 3,500 up to 4,000 milliamp hours, but it's a tiny little light with an output of up to 305 lumens. Sorry, 350 lumens. So you don't really need a huge battery in there. Because it is a small battery though, if you need to take this from empty up to fully charged, it only takes 45 minutes to fully charge the whole thing, which is pretty good. While it's charging, it will have a red light, and then when it's fully charged, there's a blue light inside here that comes on so that you know that it's fully charged. There's a couple of versions of this. There is a version which is an amber, red and blue light, whereas this one is the ultraviolet red and white light. As far as features on it, you can see the lights or the LEDs that are in there. On the end here you can see, I always struggle how you pronounce this. Is it a Nichia? I guess it's Nichia. If I say Nichia, then that'll do. It's a Nichia 219C LED in there. It's just the single one. On the front here, you can see the button. It's a single button operation, whether it's on, off, or there's a variety of clicks that you go through to get through the different modes. And then on the back here, there is a little plastic port that you can pull out, and it's USB type. It's micro USB charging. I think for future iterations, I think it would be well worth Rovyvon being able to put USB Type-C chargers in here, but I think at the moment, considering that USB Type-C technology is reasonably new. The micro USB ports in here, because they've been used so much in the mobile industry, are super cheap, and it's how they've been able to drive the price down with these. As far as the operation is concerned, as I mentioned, it all works with this button here on the front. To turn on, it's a double click to turn on, and then you'll be able to go through the different modes that are on for the main light by pressing the button again to cycle through the 4 levels, and then when you press it again, it goes back down to the main one, or at least it goes back down to the low light mode. The low light mode on this one, or what they call as the moonlight mode, this is just half a lumen. Now, I've been trying to work out how to show these better in the dark. So here what I'm doing is I'm showing how it lightens me up, and then a tree next to me, because for half a lumen I've been trying to use my camera so that you can see this, but it's actually been very difficult because it produces that little amount of light for the camera to pick up. For the human eye, however, it's just enough that if you need it, you turn it on and you can find whatever you're looking for. It's actually really good. I like these 1 lumen style moonlight modes for you to be able to find things in the dark when you're in the house. So at half a lumen, that will give you 48 hours worth of light. You click it again, it then goes up to the low mode, which is 10 lumens, which will give you 220 minutes worth of light. Then click it again, it goes up to the medium mode, which is 120 lumens, and that'll give you 65 minutes worth of light on a full charge. These are all from a full charge. Hopefully that would you'd have took that for granted anyway. Then click it again and you get high, which is the maximum output that you can get from this small light, and that will give you approximately 40 minutes worth of light. Now, I've tested this, and yeah, it's probably about right. I was getting around the 35 minutes mark, and I think on another occasion I got like 37, 38, so I'm happy that that's correct. What you also get is these extra functions from the side, and these are all done by a triple click. So you go 1, 2, 3, and the first one that comes on is the ultraviolet light. The ultraviolet light on this is very bright. It comes in at, what was it now? I think it was 4,500 natural whiteness. So it's very bright. If you need to use this to check banknotes, that sort of stuff, it's very good. And you press it again, and then what you get is this red light. So hopefully you can see this red light really surprised me when I first opened this. I opened this when I was at home in my sitting room, and it's quite dark, and the amount of light that this red light kicks out is absolutely amazing. So what you can get from this is, if you use this whilst walking around, especially if you're concerned about like your ability to see in the dark once you turn it off, this really does throw quite a lot of light. Then with another press, it then puts it into more of a beacon mode, which uses the same red light. To turn these off at any point, you just keep your finger down on the button for 2 or 3 seconds and it'll turn those off. I forgot to mention actually, if you keep your finger down on the button for a few seconds rather than double clicking, it puts it into its high mode, which is your 350 lumens. You take your finger off and it stops that. What you also have then is a 4th click. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you have just a white LED, which is perfect for reading, or if you need to put this somewhere. It does come with a small clip, and I've seen on the website that what somebody did with that clip was then put it on the brim of a hat so that they can then read a map in the dark. Again, it's perfect for that sort of thing. If you're out camping, you need a little bit of light to be able to see, whatever it is that you're looking at, then you can do that. Now, I know some of you will be wondering how the A8 holds up against the A5. As I mentioned, you know, this was my first kind of jump into these style lights, and I really do love this light. It's great. I'll carry this an awful lot. As far as dimensions are concerned, the lights are pretty much like for like. You know, same size, same dimensions, same operation with the buttons. It's still double click for on. With the A8, as we mentioned, you know, there's 4 steps to get to the maximum brightness, whereas with the A5 you go through 3 steps to get up to 550, which is the first main difference between the two. This is 350, that's 550. But with the A5, when you get to the 4th step, it then engages that strobe mode. Both have a hold down to turn them off. The other main difference in the functions, apart from the, you know, clear body, and this is the glow in the dark body, the other main difference between these two is on the side lights. So 1, 2, 3, we have UV, 1, 2, 3, we have just the white light on this one, and then when you scroll through them on the A5, then puts that into a beacon mode, whereas on the A8 we then have, as we've already seen, we've got the red, and then we've got the red beacon mode as well. Turn those off. 1, 2, 3, 4. White light, and then off. On that one you've got the UV light, which then turns that off as well. So, you know, they're really very, very similar lights. It just depends on what you want from each of these. I'm also trying to get them in my hand so that you can, I'm not trying to cover them up. Another one to throw into the whole mixture is the Tiki, or the Nightcore Tiki, which I reviewed recently. A very similar light. As I mentioned, Rovyvon really are at the top of their game, and the way that you can see that is that, you know, you have other manufacturers out there that are starting to produce similar lights. This one comes in at 300 lumens against the 350 lumens here. I mean, 50 lumens really isn't that much of a difference, but features wise it works very similarly. You know, you've got all of the different step ups, and then you've got UV, white light, and then a signalling white light as well. So I think if you're after a light like this, there's other competition out there, but at the moment Rovyvon really still are at the top of the pile when it comes to these sort of lights. Now, I've done a lot of flashlight reviews recently, and I've always had this balance that, you know, I've appreciated the lights that have lots of features, but then I've also quite enjoyed the lights that strip everything back. But then when I get back to a light like the A8, I realise why these are so good, and I think at the moment Rovyvon are at the top of their game, making very good quality, excellent value for money flashlights that for the EDC person out there, again, whether you're new to EDC or whether you consider yourself a seasoned veteran, these lights again should be a staple in your pocket. Which seems very strange considering last week for that stripped back Olight i3T, I said that's a staple, and it's a staple for exactly the opposite reasons that this should be a staple in your pocket or in your carry. I want to say a massive shout out to Rovyvon. They got in touch with me and said would I like to review this. So full disclosure, this has been sent to me to review, but I haven't been paid to, you know, review this favourably. Turns out, you know, I was a massive fan of the A5. There was a very good chance that I was going to be a massive fan of the A8. They share so many things in similarity. So yeah, full disclosure. Also, you know, I get in touch with a lot of people trying to see if I can review their items. So when a company comes to me and asks if I'd like to review something, and you know, I definitely take that as an honour to be asked to review these sort of things. So there'll be some links in the description below. So those links are affiliate links. Now this is launching, or this video goes live on Black Friday. Just a little note, and that is, it's not just for me, it's for all of the other YouTubers out there. If you use one of an affiliate link, whether it's mine or whether it's another YouTuber's. That's how we help to fund our channels. So if you see somebody else's, someone's done a bag review and you know that, then it's a great time on Black Friday to be using those links to help to give a small kickback to the channel. So there are some affiliate links in below. There's also some links for Rovyvon as well, so you can find out more about them, and also for me. If you look for me on Instagram, Moorlander_EDC, you'll be able to find me. Also on Facebook as well, but yeah, I tend to be on there more. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC.